Yo, what's up everybody? Welcome back to a brand new episode here on the Top 10 Tuesday series. This is episode 107, I believe. And for today, I want to talk about my top 10 personal favorite modern zombie films. So this is going to be films that came out post 2000 and to present. This list is also going to contain absolutely no Zomcoms. So I'm going to do like a serious list. I might actually make a separate list for Zomcoms. So yeah, so it'll contain no Zomcoms. I just kind of figured because I was putting this list together and I had a list of like over 22 films or something. I was like, you know what? There's definitely enough I could put on to make two separate lists, so I think that's what I'll do. Plus, I wanted to focus on more serious zombie films anyways, because it seems like the majority of recognizable zombie films that have come out in the last, 16 years, have been Zomcoms. It seems like those are the ones that always get the highest praise, which is kind of ridiculous, but lo and behold, there actually is some serious ones out there. And yeah, let's get right into this list here. In at number 10 is a French film from, I believe, 2009 is when this one came out, released by IFC, and it is called The Horde, which actually has a remake now, an American remake, which I have not seen. I actually haven't really heard anything about it, to be honest, but yeah, The Horde here, basically, I really like this story, man. It's basically about these corrupt cops and, these kind of gangsters and thugs and shit that have their battles and then all of a sudden are forced to band together after, the zombie apocalypse starts happening. They get trapped in this high-riser and they're forced to, fight off these zombies working together, which they obviously do not want to do. But I love this movie, man. It's got a really great contrast between these characters and... the setting in the high rise is fantastic too. It's got, the zombies look awesome, great gore and stuff like that. It's got a lot of really good things, good performances in this film. The only thing that hurts this film, and the reason why it's so low on the list, is the ending. I truly believe that the ending is unjust for this type of film. And I don't want to give away the ending, but I just feel that after, all these things that these characters have been through, I think what happens in the end of this film generally just would not happen in real life. I mean, per se. I mean, obviously we're not going to have a zombie apocalypse, but I'm just saying if you were ever put in this position, I don't think the ending would actually happen. That's just my opinion. It's always kind of bugged me about this one. I don't know if the American remake changed the ending or whatnot. I have no idea. But The Horde is still a fantastic film. I just feel if the ending was, up to my standards or my liking, I think this one would have been way higher. But yeah, check out The Horde. It's awesome. Really good stuff. It is subtitled because it is French. So next up here is one from, I think 2008 or 2007 it came out. It's a Canadian film called Pontypool. Now, when I first saw this film when it came out, I was very, very impressed by its originality. Because let's face it, the zombie genre has been very watered down. There's a lot of films that have very similar premises, hence, or they're just Zomcoms or whatnot. This one right here, kind of did something completely different, and it surprised me. It's more of like an infection film. Which you'll find these type of films on this list also. Zombie/infection film, I forgot to say off the top of the list. Because I didn't want to, generally separate those because a lot of people feel that they are the same thing. I don't want to get into that debate right now. But anyways, Pontypool is a story about basically these people that are working in this radio station. What's his name? Steve McHattie. He is working in this low rent type radio station, and what happens is all of a sudden a zombie outbreak kind of happens. These people are being infected outside, and they kind of get trapped in there, and then all of a sudden it kind of seeps inside the radio station. People are starting to get infected and stuff, and they can't figure out why until they realize that it might have something to do with them talking and certain words and things that they're saying over the radio waves. Now, the idea of this is really interesting. It's a really cool premise. I thought this was very, very fresh, and it was very interesting. I love this. It had really good suspense, and it kind of kept you guessing. It's very psychological too. It's just a different type of zombie film or infection film. I think it's really worth the time, so give Pontypool a shot. Awesome stuff. In at number 9. In at number 8 is a film that, when I first saw this, I absolutely fell in love with this film. I know it had mixed reactions when it came out. I'm not 100% sure why. I think maybe it's because it's a little disturbing. The content is a little rough to take at times, I believe. This one from 2009, I think it came out. and it's called Dead Girl. Basically, this one is about these high school kids that find this chained up dead girl, or zombified girl in this asylum. And they start to basically do real fucked up things to her and stuff. They don't tell anybody. Well, they do, but, they start to do really crazy shit to her and stuff. And then the story kind of escalates from there. I thought this was fantastic. It was different. It was kind of edgy and daring for what they were doing in the film. I don't want to give specifics away, but there's this one great disgusting scene in this film where this guy one of the characters is taking a shit and it just doesn't go as planned. It's just nasty, nasty shit, man. Like literally. But Dead Girl, it's got an interesting and kind of taboo subject matter to it. I really enjoy this, man. It's nasty. Not for everybody, but I think this one's awesome. Give Dead Girl a shot if you've never seen it. And that was in at number 8. In at number 7 is I think this is a French film. I want to say it's French. Yeah, it isn't French. And it came out in 2007 or 8 or something like that. Another one released by IFC Midnight. And it is called Mutants. I haven't actually seen Mutants in a while, but yeah, no, it definitely is a French film. But this one's got a really interesting premise too, basically about this couple, this husband and wife that are trapped in this kind of test facility type deal. She is either a doctor or nurse or something like that, and the whole world is, turned into mutants, into zombies and infected people and stuff. But she truly believes, with her background, that that these people can be saved. So she's kind of working on some things and stuff while she's battling off all these zombies. Of course, her lover gets infected, and now that's kind of where the story takes its turn, because, she, what do you do? Do you kill him or do you try to save him and stuff? And so it's got like a lot of emotion to the film, and certain things that are going on are actually really, really well done in this one. I thought this was just a fantastic film. So another very kind of interesting and clever film, but check out Mutants. I thought it was awesome. So that's in at number 7. In at number 6 is a film that I've always loved, and it really truly needs a Blu-ray release, because the prints on these, Media Blasters was known for not really doing the greatest transfers and stuff on their films. This one is actually from the year 2000, and it is called Versus. This is a film from Japan. And it's kind of like a hybrid of like an Yakuza gangster film mixed with zombies. It's got a lot of folklore mythology to it and stuff like that. It's a lot of action. There's a lot of choreographed, great fighting scenes in this, but it's gory as all living hell, and it's just fucked up. So basically, what the story is in this one, about this escaped convict who ends up in this forest called the Forest of Resurrection. And what the Forest of Resurrection is, it's kind of the 444th porthole. Into basically what the folklore is that the world has 666 portholes to like this other world, and this forest is the 444th one, and it's kind of, the forest is the resurrection. And what the backstory is behind this is that there's been battles going on with these these soldiers and these warriors for thousands of years, and ultimately these bodies kind of rise up from the dead and shit like that. And he's got to fight them off, along with fighting against these people that are after him and shit. There's a lot of things going on in Versus, but it's a high octane type film. There's a lot of action, a lot of gore, a lot of interesting things that are going on. I just really wish this film would get a Blu-ray release, because this transfer is not really the greatest. It is widescreen, but it's very not good looking. I mean, this is an old Tokyo Shock DVD. So, another reason why I do not like to record videos during the day, because I have too many dogs and they bark all the time. But long story short, Versus, man, it's a hybrid of a lot of different things, and it's definitely one you need to check out, man. It's fucking awesome. It's long though. It runs about 2 hours. This is the director's cut, but in my opinion, man, there's enough things going on in this one and enough weirdness and madness to keep you interested. So, definitely give Versus a shot. It's interesting. It's interesting. So that was number 6. And at number 5 is, of course, the classic, 2002 Danny Boyle film, 28 Days Later. This is another one of those infection films. I've stated and had many arguments with so many people about this. A lot of people consider this to be like a full-blown zombie film, but it's actually infection film, and even Danny Boyle even says that himself too. This is, yeah, it's a virus that's infecting people, making them rage and shit like that. The true definition of a zombie film is someone that has actually died and has resurrected from the dead. These people never actually died, so hence the infection film, but not getting into this debate right now. But yeah, 28 Days Later, we all know about this one, man. I love the cinematography in this film. Like the opening scene where our main character kind of runs out into the streets of London there, and there's nothing around. It's just fucking haunting, man. But I've always loved this film. I like, pretty much everything about it. It's a really great film. So much, I honestly and truly enjoy, I think, the first half of this film a little bit more than the second half, which is kind of odd, but all around, Danny Boyle did a really good job with this film. I think it's interesting. If you've never seen 28 Days Later, give it a shot. It's probably another film I should probably upgrade one of these days too, but yeah, 28 Days Later. We all know about that one. In at number 5, in at number 4 is one from 2007. It is a Spanish film, and it is called Wreck. Yes, another like infection type film, basically about this TV crew that goes into this building to investigate what the hell is going on. And yeah, they kind of get trapped in there and stuff with all these crazy zombie infected type people. Found footage type style film, very, very creepy and suspenseful. This one, it's actually a film when I first saw that I didn't really care for as much as I do now. I really enjoy the hell out of this film, and I really like part 2 also. 3 is different. I have not seen part 4 yet, to be honest. But yeah, this one right here I thought was okay when I first seen it, but this is why it benefits from watching films a second time. If you're kind of on the fence about something, I really enjoyed it. Sometimes your state of mind isn't always in the right place, but Wreck, awesome film, man. Check it out. Yeah, in at number 4. In at number 3 is one that really kind of blew my socks off when I first seen it. This one came out, I believe, in 2012 or something. And it is The Dead. This is one that I really need to upgrade because the cinematography and the setting is just absolutely beautiful in this film. I remember when I went to go buy this film, I went to go buy it on Blu-ray. They didn't have it, so I picked the DVD up because I wanted to see it so bad, and I never upgraded. But yeah, The Dead, basically about this survivor of this plane crash. After their evacuating crashes, and now he's forced to, survive running through the hot desert of Africa and stuff like that. It's a really phenomenal, suspenseful film. Really great scenery, acting's great, zombies are awesome in this one. Everything about this one's awesome. The premise is pretty simple, but it really does a great job of executing this. It's just, it's one of those awesome films. A little bit longer, 105 minutes, but it goes by pretty fast. If you've never seen The Dead, check it out. Part 2 isn't as good as this one, but, still a decent watch anyways. So that was in at number 2. That was number 3. In at number 2 is my favorite film from 2016, and that is Train to Busan. Man, I absolutely loved this movie. Crazy, crazy film, man. South Korea really knows how to make awesome films. This one is, basically about this father and daughter. They're hopping on a train to Busan, and of course a zombie apocalypse or zombie outbreak breaks out, and yeah, now they got to fight for their lives. It's a really high octane type film. It's pretty long, runs about 2 hours, but it's so emotional. You get so invested in these characters. They wrote the characters phenomenally in this film. Generally, I don't like high octane, fast moving zombies, but in this one it does make sense because the setting is on a train. They have to be fast to kind of, you got to keep up that pace, I guess. But I love how they told the backstory. You don't really know much about the zombie outbreak until you find out exactly how it happened. And it's very emotional, and you get so invested. And this one actually made me tear up when I watched it. It's crazy. That's how much I love this film. It was really great. Train to Busan, give it a shot, man. If you're not into reading subtitles, that's such a shame if you're not going to check it out because of that reason. But I think they did announce an American remake for this, but I'm pretty sure it's going to lose a lot of the translation. I don't know. But, or no, maybe they didn't do, oh no, that's The Wailing that they're remaking. Never mind. But Train to Busan, check it out. Awesome, awesome movie. And in at number 1 is a film that, man, I can't believe how much I love this film. I was expecting it to be decent, but like not as good as, this actually turned out to be. And that is The Battery. I think this one came out, I think it came out a couple years prior or whatever, but it's from 2013, I think, is officially when it got released. And this one right here is just a fantastic, low-budget and well-executed film about these two baseball players that are not really friends, but they kind of are forced to band together and fight off against, zombies that have taken over the world and stuff. And, it's more about, more a character study of these two and, the way they're, they have to deal with each other and things like that and deal with the situation that they're in. The zombies are very secondary in this one. I know a lot of people had problems, it's not gory enough, there's not enough zombie action and stuff, but the film is more about the characters. It's kind of like watching The Walking Dead in a sense, where, the zombies are definitely secondary to the survival of the characters. The Battery, it's really fantastic. This movie is made for $5,000 and it looks so much bigger than its budget. It's well acted, it's well shot, it's well executed, I think it's a very, very awesome film, and I think everyone needs to check this out. So, but yeah, that's going to do it for my top 10, guys. The obvious film that's missing from this list, and people are probably screaming right now, is the Dawn of the Dead remake. The Dawn of the Dead remake, to me, has I've seen it so many times over the years that I've kind of lost interest in it. It's every time I watch it, it seems to get worse for me every time I watch it, and I prefer all these films over it now. I don't know. There's something about it. I still like the film, but it's just not one of my favorites anymore. I always liked it though. Like I liked it when it first came out, and but nowadays it's just not one of my favorites, man. It's just kind of become old to me. So we'll do a quick little recap here. In at number 10, we've got The Horde. In at number 9, Pontypool. Number 8, Dead Girl. Number 7, Mutants. Number 6, Versus. Number 5, 28 Days Later. Number 4, Wreck. Number 3, The Dead. Number 2, Trade to Busan. And number 1, The Battery. And yes, again, this was like a serious zombie list. So I think I'll come back and make a Zomcom one also. Because there's really a lot of good ones out there, to be honest. There's quite a few that make me laugh. There's so many shitty ones, but just like general zombie films. But anyways, guys, that is going to do it for this Top 10 Tuesday. I will be back hopefully next week. Tuesdays are just kind of a shit show for me now. It's really, really hard for me to get things done on Tuesdays, so I'll get these out when I can. But anyways, guys, hope you enjoyed it. And as usual,